Thanks for staying with us. We were minding our business.
Jelly.
And then the former chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission of Nigeria, Professor Attahiru Muhammadu Jega, urged Nigerians, you and I, not to vote APC or PDP. Henceforth, according to him, he alleged that the two major political parties have destroyed everything and are likely to be Siamese twins of corruption that was high time Nigerians look for a credible alternative. Do you agree with him? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think it is indeed time for us to get a credible alternative? And what does that even mean to you as an Nigerian? What's an alternative? Let's call us on 081-270-53687, 09390-76948. You can also send us a message on YouTube and Facebook. We'd like to read your messages. So, one of the things we always complain on this show is that when government brings out a policy, they just cancel or ban it or stop it or remove it. Instead of having ways to rework it, to look at it, to fix the problem, the easiest thing to do is to just throw it away. Do you think that's what's playing out here, saying that, listen, why don't we fix what we have? Because these two parties have the machinery, they have the workings of the people, and we can fix it inside out. Not doing the easiest thing of just scrapping them and looking for an alternative. Those are different angles. Or do you completely agree that, you know what, you can't fix something that has a poor foundation, you might as well just take it out? So what are your take on this? Mike, let me start.
My own, you see, he invited us to join his own party.
Oh, that was the eventually.
Yeah,
I didn't read to the end.
PDP, PRP.
Oh, really?
People's Redemption Party.
Oh, okay.
And I would not have felt, I now feel that it is self-serving.
Okay. Okay.
Because he's inviting us to join his own party, that we should leave PDP. Because you were INEC chairman, didn't you think that they were what did you call them?
Corrupt
Siamese twins before? Or you didn't know they were Siamese twins before? If he wasn't, I agree with him that because the way they jump from party to party, today you are in PDP, tomorrow you are in APC, the next day you are in APC, no. They don't have integrity. I don't find the politicians have integrity. But I would have felt better if he wasn't inviting us to join his own party.
Non-partisan. Well,
if he was non-partisan, like he claimed to be during the elections.
May I? Well, to just respond to that, you see, many times when we have good people speak, we say to them, why don't you join a party or why don't you run for office? And now we have a good person, at least based on what we see, face value. He has integrity, he's described as a man of good character. And he said, the way for me to help Nigerians is for me to register with this party. And he has the party that he's registered with. But, you know, to say if it was non-partisan, I think it's a bit unfair, because if we put all the good people, you know, let me use this specific example. When you say to Mariah, do you have to run for office? You say, no, we need people on this side, people that will talk against the, you know, talk for the government. But people keep saying, if we have all the good people or people of character and integrity saying, all we are going to do is just be
on this side,
talking about what the ills that are going on and never participating, then we would never get good people in government. But that's on one side. Secondly, we have a situation where he mentioned that even when you join the parties that are there, that's the APC and PDP, even if a good person decides to join those parties, you will somehow be affiliated and it will rub off on you, whatever their corruption, whatever it is, it will rub off on you. And that is true. So for me, I feel that it's good that we have alternatives. It's important. It's timely. I don't even like the idea of having only two strong parties. We should have so many more. But the thing beyond that is also the mindset. I remember some weeks back when I moderated a panel, we had the chairman of the Modern Democratic Party, Prince Bukoyi. He's the founder and the chairman, and he said that he met a group of young people who he thought were excited for just the change, where you're pushing young people into politics, you want them to join politics, and he expected that these youth were going to come and say, we're coming to join this and support this movement. but they were asking him for money. They were asking him to mobilize them so they can mobilize the mobilizer, and he was, in his mind, he felt disappointed. He was like, okay, these are the people that we're supposed to be fighting for, and they're just the same as those who we feel we should take out. So there has to be first a change of mindset of the regular Nigerian person. That politics is not a politics of making money. It shouldn't be self-serving. It's for all of us.
So, do you agree with Professor Jega?
Right, I 100% sort of like, I don't agree with his, I'm not a fan of the party system, him being in a party structure, but I agree with the fact that I don't see the difference between PDP and APC anymore. There's been so much cross-carpeting that I'm trying to remember, if I see a political officer, I'm trying to remember, which party is he now in now? Like, I know he has moved.
Where did he start?
Where did he start from?
Was it of history?
Yes, you know, so we don't have any strong political ideology on both parts. Whenever we ask any of them to talk, we just hear attacking each other. It's not like there is any, this is what we represent. We believe in freedom of speech. We are going to allow this one, this one, this one. The other person is saying this is what we represent. There's no ideology driving their conversation in politics. It's just politics for let us just get into power. So I believe that there should be opportunity for us to have better options. But I also understand politics. It's not by having another party. Because at the end of the day, majority will carry the legislative power. When you get into the National Assembly, it would sway to who has the numbers. And if you cannot galvanize numbers across board, it is a tough call. So I'm in the space where I listen to Jega and I'm like, what I believe Jega and every other well-meaning Nigerian should do is to actively canvass for participation in politics. What we have now is voter apathy. People are saying, I'm not interested. It will not work. But if we can get more participation in terms of being involved, if we have more numbers outside APC than in APC, if we flood the parties.
But people are really disillusioned with APC and PDP.
That's why there's apathy.
People are disillusioned.
Like I said.
So I agree. I will never join any of those two parties personally, because I've seen I can't be loyal to you today and then I say I'm not loyal to you. I switch. It doesn't smell of integrity.
Let me take this call from Surulere. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah. Good morning.
Winsor, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I want to contribute to the topic you are debating on right away.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Before the other colleague of
Miriam.
Yes, she was talking of integrity of the gas. So I want to remind her, has she forgotten, what transpired in 2015 when Orubebe cried out, during the election, something?
Yeah.
Why did Orubebe cry out that day? Longe, have you forgotten that prior to that election, that Jega manipulated and rigged out to Jonathan, he deliberately created 5,000 booth units in the north.
Mr. Vincent, that's
your personal
allegation. Yes. But you see, understanding the complexities of the Nigerian system and the fact that there are just always so many the intricacies of the political system, it's difficult to really start all over again with a new party. So the question therefore is that if we, it would be a very idealistic to get actually a new party. But realistically, how is it going to happen? And because they've tried, in fairness, many have come out in the past to try, but it takes many years of grassroots development, structured development to start a party.
I disagree, because how did APC start? APC started because they wanted to overthrow PDP. And what did they do? They
CPC structure CPC, and
they got ACN. They all came. But they joined together to form one party.
They were already on ground. They didn't wake up and say.
So listen, there are many other small parties that can actually join, because we said it at that time during the last election.
Yeah, that was the third first.
Obi Ezekwesili was in one of the parties. Mogalu.
Yeah.
So we had said, why didn't they all come together?
Yes.
They would have now been a formidable force against PDP and APC, but they didn't.
But they were actually fairly new parties. One parties have actually done some real groundwork, and hardly you see any of them. I'll come to you, Mariam. Let me take Michael. Exactly. Michael, are you there? Maybe now they are structured. Michael, are you still there? Mariam, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so for me, I feel that most of these younger, newer parties should concentrate their efforts in grassroots politics. So just make sure that you're the local government chairperson. Make sure that you're in the houses of state houses of assembly. Do you know, understand? When you are at the grassroots, eventually you would build enough influence and momentum to join the big leagues and run for president. Because that place, I feel that the way politics is politics is structured now is done in such a way so expensive. Most of the new ones are unable to afford, you know, the amount of money that is needed. Then the influence that you have, most of the people that are already in these big parties are known names, they are making lots of money, they already have like their network of people. We understand that politics in Nigeria is not necessarily free and fair. There's a lot of corruption that goes in. So we have people who say, my vote really doesn't count because the powers that be will sort it out. So when we are at the grassroots, at that level, there are some things that these people see you, they know you, and they would
Let me take this call. Michael, are you still there? Hello, Michael. I think we lost that call.
Please let me come in with this. At least for Lagos State, we conducted the local government elections about 2 weeks ago. And we know that even I felt that it was largely an APC affair in terms of publicity and campaign. And I remember that there was, what's his name, this artist, Banky W, and he had a different party, and he was contesting, he wanted to contest for House of Representatives. What we should have seen is a play-up of those parties at the local government chairman level, because everybody will come out at 2023 now. All those parties that we did not see them play any politics locally within Lagos, they will come out at 2023 to come and ask for elections.
So there needs to be, even the one, if for him to come out this last one, these are funds that they need. So they need us to help and support them.
So it's at that point where we cannot say the politics is very expensive. You mentioned how the MD, the party modern,
that's the one
was saying that
yes,
that the people were asking for money. We cannot eat our cakes and have it. We must choose what we want. Do we want good government, or we want them to keep giving us handouts every time? And it seems like we don't have we're so hungry that we cannot make an intelligent decision. The people are very hungry, and it's continuing like that. Let me take a break.
When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about Professor Jega's declaration, or asking that APC and PDP should be scrapped, and people shouldn't even vote for them, and we should find a third force. I mean, the issue of loyalty, I know that we have sports fans in Nigeria where, oh, I'm a Chelsea fan, and when you watch people abroad, from generations to generations, they stick to one party, one club. So you see a Chelsea fan, for his grandfather has been a Chelsea fan, the father is a Chelsea fan. Even if Chelsea messes up, even if Arsenal, any of those parties, football clubs mess up, they are loyal to that ideology, that this is who we are. And we celebrate that. But unfortunately, in this part of the world, when we say we are a party member, we are part of APC, the moment it doesn't favor us, we cross carpets, we move, because it's not about the ideology. So is it that it's not a party thing, it's a people thing? We are the ones. We are the problems that we cannot be loyal to one ideology. Somebody say my generations are Republicans.
Yes.
They'll tell you my father's father was Republican, the entire state. You know, you can actually predict that this state is a Republican state. In Nigeria, today you are APC state, tomorrow, it's not a PDP state because the governor has crossed up. So is it that we are our problem? We don't even understand what loyalty means anymore.
I will go back to government again. Because when you have your leaders, who is cross-carpeting? It's not me, it's not you. It's them cross-carpeting. Shebi, they are the example. The other day, wasn't it the governor of Cross River, Cross River has been PDP since time. The governor just got up and cross-carpeted, just like that. Look at the Zamfara one. Is it Zamfara? The Matawale, who he got there through PDP, and now cross-carpeted, and now has now... the other ones from APC who have cross-carpeted, Obaseki, that went from APC to PDP because they were not going to make him governor. So the leaders themselves. Now, if you lead by example. So once your leader is not loyal, who am I
To stay loyal.
I will be
So,
competing like Kenny now.
Yeah. Let me take this call. I'll come to you, Tokwe. Good morning. Are you there? Hello?
Hello?
John, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I'm actually a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. Yeah. So actually, talking about this INEC former chairman Jega, right? Talking about Jega, Jega has not been a fair umpire. You know. Now, yeah, thank you. So you see, talking about Jega, he has not been a fair umpire. If you could recall, last election.
Hello?
The road. You saw the role that man played. He doesn't have the right. He's not in position now to come and start giving. We are Nigerians. We know what's good for us.
Okay.
You get Jega.
Okay, so John's position is that Jega doesn't have the moral justification to be telling Nigerians not to vote for APC. Okay,
Mara, if we were to take Jega out and someone else just came and told us that, what sort of conversation would...
He's calling him Jega.
Then he's going to empire.
I honestly,
Jega.
I feel that we don't, so let me put it this way. We don't have a party problem. We don't have a party problem because we've been ruled by two different parties. And I use rule with all sense of responsibility of what the word implies. We don't have a party problem. We have a people and leadership problem. So as long as you don't solve the people problem, you don't give Nigeria an identity, you don't create a vision for Nigerians, take a party out, bring in NPN, bring in NNN, bring in EEE, bring in MMM. As long as the people are still the issue, they will still perpetuate the same problems. So the PDP has gone, APC came in. Does that mean we had better healthcare? No. Did we have better education? No. Did we have better roads? No. Are we now seeing leaders now putting their children in schools in Nigeria? No. So it is not about the party that you put there, because they will still cross-carpet whichever way to whatever party seems to be in power. As long as the people are not involved and leadership is in crisis, we would always remain in this place.
They say that you deserve the leaders that you get. So definitely we deserve the sort of parties that we get.
Yeah.
Because we are voting for those parties, we are participating in those parties. So the problem of ideologies, I think, I think the politicians have found a sweet spot with Nigeria. They will give you APC, PDP if you are into party. And then if you're shaking on that level, they'll give you ethnic, religious part. They'll say, okay, we are from this part of the country, vote us, even though we are now APC, but, I'm a Christian in APC. Then they will now give, they're just different things that they understand what it is that we want. And they play us. They just keep playing us. So until the people decide now for themselves, you know what? We're done with these games. This is all I want. I want healthcare, I want education, I want electricity, I want water. So who is going to give me that?
So my question therefore to the ladies is that, okay, if we now say we want to take Professor Jega's recommendation, so we say as a people, APC or PDP were not interested, what would it take to have a third force, a viable third force that actually would represent the people? Is it not the same Nigerians that will be in this third force? How would they get the machinery? Because when you say machinery, you're talking about the local government, the ward meetings, all the various elements.
Yeah.
So how do we build a third force? That's really the question.
You see, I think that until we start to change the mindset of Nigerians, there is no going forward.
Yep.
Our mindset is that of, look, and we're all guilty. Someone comes here and he's driving a flashy car.
And we all hail him.
We will hail him. We will never ask, where did you get? I mean, you're a young 40-year-old guy and you have this kind of car. I'm 60, I've worked all my life, I can never afford this kind of... Where did you get this money? First, we never question. We will first collect the money. If that person now turns out to be a 419, it's the same us that chopped inside the money that will say, oh,
now, wow.
see,
now
no wonder he has that kind of money.
Let me take this one for my dear.
Our mindset.
Yeah.
If we don't change that mindset, we will never get a good government.
Absolutely. Ade, are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello, Ade, are you there? Hello, Ade, are you there? Thanks for calling. Yes, Tokwe.
The ladies of your view are not in the majority. People like us, enlightened like us, educated, informed like us, who are not in the majority. The majority of Nigerians are hungry. they are not as educated as they can be to make an informed decision. And as long as the majority carries the votes, every time you leave the majority to vote for our leaders, we'll end up having whoever is the most the person that can bribe most would continue to rule us. The person that can pay most will continue to rule us. If we had more people like this, people that have read, people that feel like, this government is not working for me, I'm not going to take that 5 naira. I don't need your 100 naira. I don't need your packet of bag of rice.
Like
if we had more people like that, then we can make informed decisions. As long as majority are poor.
Let me stay on this for a second, because I
had
mentioned this question. I think we had a guest a few weeks ago. And I said, listen, hypothetically speaking, democracy is almost like, I don't want to use the word enlightened. It's something for somebody who understands what democracy is, to appreciate what democracy is. It's an enlightened concept to absorb. Now, for somebody who doesn't have the education to understand what democracy is, maybe it is time for us to begin to consider where, I mean, as selfish as it sounds, where some people will be totally disenfranchised. I mean, when it comes to politics, for us to build this nation called Nigeria, if we want to build Nigeria, let those who are at a certain level be...
That cannot work.
I know it's cannot work. I'm just saying hypothetically speaking. Because the truth is that whether we like it or not, the majority are the uneducated, and they will continue to decide for you and I.
Yes.
So if we're supposed to know better, those people who are supposed to know better, shouldn't we be the ones voting?
Okay, so one thing why I'm not comfortable with this is because many times in Nigeria, when we describe poor people, uneducated people, we assume that they have no values and they have no dreams or aspirations. The fact that they are poor and they are uneducated doesn't take that away from them. Poor people want good governance. Poor people want the things that you have. They want education, and they understand.
The is affecting them.
That's the thing. So recently we saw in Ghana where politicians brought rice and they were trying to persuade people. They returned their rice. They took it and put it in the truck. Yeah. We need to teach poor people that you can demand for what is right to you. We need to find different ways to enlighten them. When we say lack of education, we're really concentrating on lack of Western education. People were learning and educating themselves many ways, native ways, before Western education.
But do you realize that democracy is a Western concept? So, for example,
I understand.
Going back to you, I'm saying on you, don't worry, I'll come back to you. So those people, if their job is to vote in those closest to them, like your local government chairman,
good, yes,
your community leaders who you see and can hold responsible,
good,
that one makes sense. But if I concern you with Abuja or I concern you with the government, would you even understand what is happening, what the politics of what's going on with these states?
Fantastic. So that is why we're pushing for parties to be more grassroots inclined.
Right.
They will pick, before you get there, they will pick you from the grassroots. Right. They will choose you. They will, because they know you. And that's the thing, because the way that politics is structured here in Nigeria, that's not the way, because it's a Western thing, it's not the way we're practicing it. We're practicing it here with the Nigerian factor, where money just takes over everything. And the influence you have with big people is what takes over. But if we were to do it the right way, many people who are in Abuja today will not be there because the grassroots people will not put them there because they do not know them. Right. So we need to, what we need to do for poor people is to let them understand that they have rights. Your poverty does not mean you don't have rights or you do not understand what it is that you get.
Which is invariably saying educate everybody.
Absolutely.
So the education doesn't need to be Western, but the education is to enlighten them. We have an identity crisis in Nigeria. A Nigerian does not have that pride in, I deserve better. Like, we should get into the hospital and say, this is not for me. I am a Nigerian. I should have better quality of education. I should have better hospitals. Like, the identity of, I should have excellence. We don't have an identity. We don't believe we deserve much. If you feel like you are deserving much, you ask government. They will be like, look, you see, because you have gone to school, that's why you're talking like this. Look at your mates that they did not even, you are eating rice. Don't you have a phone? That's why you're tweeting. Look, go to the villages, they don't even have a phone, they don't even have network. So, as long as our leaders have not given us a sense of pride and identity that will make us proud of who we are, we will continue where we are. If we want to change it, the majority shouldn't focus on facing governments. Like I said, we don't have a party problem. We have a people problem. So Jega does not need to face party. Jega should face the people. Jega should educate people. Jega should raise people and say, every local government, let's educate people. Gather 20, gather 50. Teach them their rights. Give them an identity. Because that is the solution. No, Mariah, we have not tried. We have not done that grassroots work of pulling them together and changing how they think and letting them realize that bag of rice is not the solution to your problem.
You cannot change how people think by magic wand. It's a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
It takes
Oh, it's
time.
long
And there
time.
are other ways. But we have to wrap up. Waike, let me let you have the final word. So are we recommending what Jega is saying, or are we saying that no, it's not going to happen?
Without Jega,
Yeah.
if we are going to do any third force without Jega, if Jega wants to be part of the party, he should not come out and say he wants to be president. No, I don't. That to me is self-serving.
Yeah,
That's
right,
one.
right.
Two, I've listened to all your arguments. And I think that we must just remember mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset. When I say mindset, look at the downfall driver who will come and cut. He
Yeah.
will leave his lane to come on the wrong side of the road. That's mindset.
That's what I said. We have
The
to
Okada
run.
rider.
We have to run.
Wait, so look,
Thank
the
you very much.
mindset.
We have to go on a break now. When we return, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.